What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's David here. Welcome back to another Atlus video. Today I want to talk about a game that was revealed 1 year ago as of the time of watching this video, and that's Soul Hackers 2. More specifically, how Atlus and Sega failed with Soul Hackers 2. In terms of critical reception, yes, but mostly in terms of financial reception, like general sales for the game, and I'm gonna compare that versus their expectations for this project. And clearly they're not the same thing. So what happened here, we'll try to make that clear today. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date on any type of news in terms of Atlus, SMT, Persona, and more, make sure to subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. And if you like the video, a quick thumbs up is always a big help. Let's get into it. So if you deep dive into Sega Sammy's full year results for the fiscal year ending March 2021, there is a slide called Utilization of IP Assets. And in this slide, there is examples for existing IPs such as Shin Megami Tensei and Persona for Atlus, and other IPs like Sonic the Hedgehog or Ryuga Kodoku for Sega with Yakuza. To the right of those active IPs is a group of past IPs, and that group includes Soul Hackers. This caught my attention as soon as I reported on this in May of 2021 because it felt extremely weird to have Soul Hackers as a IP separate from either Devil Summoner or even Shin Megami Tensei. I mentioned that it was strange when I reported on that, but I didn't think much of it at first. It's only at the end of 2021 in the end of the year Famitsu article when Shinjiro Takada was interviewed, and when he was asked about his aspirations for 2022, he said, "I chose the keyword challenge for 2022 with the hope to release a game that will become a pillar for Atlus. All of us at Atlus are working hard to develop this game so that it will be interesting and satisfying for everyone, so please look forward to it." That certainly was intriguing to many amongst the Atlus community, and as we can see from this translated article from the time, a lot of people, including this writer from Persona Central, thought this pillar title for Atlus would be Project Re Fantasy. But then Takada said, "Shin Megami Tensei 5's development has just come to an end and I'm taking a breather, but I'm sure I'll be able to announce something this year, 2022 as well, so look forward to it." And then 2 months later, after this interview, a website went up teasing a game reveal of some sort, and it's a week after that that Soul Hackers 2 was officially revealed to the world, with Mr. Takada being announced as the production manager for the project that indeed released in 2022 a couple of months later. After playing the game and looking back on it now, I am here wondering what made Sega and Atlus think that Soul Hackers could be a pillar title that would be able to stand next to massive sellers like Shin Megami Tensei or Persona. When you take a look at the critical reception for Soul Hackers 2, there is stuff like performance issues that come up, but I don't think this is a major reason as to why the game underperformed in terms of sales. One, because most people who played the game and reviewed it, myself included, had no major problem with its performance. There's issue, but nothing deal-breaking that would explain those scores. The gameplay is where it all crumbled in my opinion, whether the complaints are linked to the very similar environments from one place to another, from one dungeon to another, or to the lack of big and flashy cutscenes or menus like modern Persona entries. Most of these issues can be linked to a lack of budget and or a lack of development time for this game. I remember saying this in a podcast after Soul Hackers 2 launched. The game is great, but it feels like it lacks the charm and love that is put into other modern Atlus entries that were way more successful, like Shin Megami Tensei 5 or Persona 5. This is where the main issue is, in my opinion. Not putting the game on Nintendo Switch at launch was indeed a major problem as well. Shin Megami Tensei 5, which I know is a way more popular IP than Soul Hackers, sold 1 million copies in 2 months on one single platform. And this game had its fair share of issues as well, both in terms of gameplay, story, and also performance, same thing as Soul Hackers 2. The Switch is selling insanely well in Japan, which is the target audience for a game like Soul Hackers 2. Now, this is not the only reason for sure that the game flopped. There's a bunch of other reasons. Having a bunch of paid DLC and paid content on day one for this game was not a great idea, in my opinion. Marketing for this game in the West was extremely lackluster, with very little presence on social medias prior to launch, and even a very sad presence at Summer Games Fest, which is a big missed opportunity because there was a lot of Western eyes on this show. So a 1-minute trailer for Soul Hackers 2 that was not explaining anything was not good enough in my opinion. I said it before and I'll say it again, calling this game Soul Hackers 2 was also a mistake in my opinion. Devil Summoners Soul Hackers is a 25-year-old Sega Saturn game that was never released in the West. Yes, it got a port on 3DS, but how many copies did this sell? People were confused about Soul Hackers 2, asking where's the first game, do I have to play the first game, and it's absolutely fair to say that this caused issues for this game's performance as well, and I hate to say it, to be honest. Another name would have been a better idea. You could simply reboot it, call it Soul Hackers. The previous game was part of Devil Summoner, why not just call this one Soul Hackers straight up, or something along those lines. I feel like, yeah, that was definitely one of the reasons as well why it did not do as well as Atlus wanted it to do. What is going to happen going forward with Soul Hackers though? Honestly, it's hard to say. I think Atlus put enough money and effort into this game to try and keep it going as a pillar title going forward. I think if the game releases on Nintendo Switch in the near future, we can think of this as an indication that they want to keep working on this IP. The fact that Ringo is available as a pre-order bonus and DLC for Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection is also an indication that they are not done with this IP in my opinion. And of course, the game was just announced for Game Pass, console and PC, which again gives Atlus not only a big check from Microsoft, but also a ton of visibility towards this new IP, which again is an older IP, but I'm kind of looking at it as a new IP because of what they're trying to do with it. I like Soul Hackers 2 a bunch, and I really hope this is not the end of this IP. If you have not checked it out already, do yourselves a favor if you're into Atlus RPGs. It's very cheap now, and it's now on Game Pass as well, PC or Xbox. You can check out my review as well. There's a lot of negativity around this game online and social medias and stuff. Whenever I say that I like the game, I get people not attacking me, but they're quick to tell me that they disagree. And I think you guys should make an opinion for yourself. Try it out. Honestly, it has issues, but I still had a lot of fun with it. And I want to buy the DLC and go back to it as well sometime soon. So this is what I think happened in terms of Soul Hackers and what happened here with Sega and Atlus. They missed the mark on a bunch of things. I don't think this is the end. I think this year will tell us what's going to happen with Soul Hackers 2. Ringo as DLC for Etrian Odyssey is a great start. The game being put on Game Pass is another great thing, and I expect the game to drop on Switch this year as well. If all of that happens, I mean, I think there's a lot of chances for us to get another game in that series, and hopefully the team gets a bigger budget to try and make the environments different and stuff, because they have a very solid foundation with this game. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you guys very soon in another video. Bye.